It's time to discuss the biggest jerks in the history of Hollywood. Some of their actions were so heinous that they would probably end their careers if they happened today. Number 10. Charlie Chaplin, the founding father of cinema, and arguably the most famous man that ever lived. However, there is also quite a bit of evidence to suggest he was a jerk in real life. Chaplin was a perfectionist and was known to turn hostile towards his actors and crew if they didn't give him the standard of work that he wanted. Those who worked with Chaplin recalled a string of unnecessary firings, incessant verbal abuse, and near-daily tantrums. In his personal life, Chaplin was just as difficult, having married several women before finally settling down with the daughter of playwright Eugene O'Neill. The tramp had no shortage of ex-wives who were willing to share their horrid experiences of living with him. According to pretty much every woman who married and divorced Chaplin, the man was emotionally abusive, controlling, and had few scruples about sleeping with other women. Number 9. Zsa Zsa Gabor. The Hungarian-born actress was praised as one of the most talented and glamorous celebrities of her time. She was, some media outlets said, a Kardashian before the Kardashians. What they didn't say, however, was that Gabor had a reputation of being rather unpleasant to be around. Gabor's greatest sin was her shabby treatment of her daughter, Francesca Hilton, who she was almost ashamed to acknowledge. Although Zsa Zsa proudly displayed her daughter on red carpets and at social gatherings when she was still a cute little girl, the actress began to lose interest in her child when the younger Gabor expressed no interest in wearing makeup. When Francesca's father, billionaire hotel magnate Conrad Hilton, passed away, he left his daughter only $100,000, for which she fought relentlessly in court. Not only did Francesca lose her case, she depleted her entire fortune in the process. With her mother offering only minimal financial aid, Francesca lived the rest of her days penniless, spending her final hours beginning in Beverly Hills. Number 8. Errol Flynn. Charles Hyam's 1980 biography, Errol Flynn, The Untold Story, made shocking allegations about the iconic swashbuckler. In addition to claiming that Flynn had multiple same-sex affairs, Hyam accused him of being a Nazi sympathizer. His claims were based purely on circumstantial evidence and subsequently debunked in later biographies. The well-known expression, "in like Flynn," was inspired by 3 separate statutory rape trials in 1942. He was acquitted each time, but the damage to his reputation was already done. His lifestyle choices also took a toll on his good looks, and he mostly played aging alcoholics later in his career. When Flynn died of a heart attack in 1959 at 50, the medical examiner said he had the body of an 85-year-old man. Number 7. Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball broke a lot of new ground for what could be aired on television and revolutionized the modern sitcom. But she was very demanding behind the scenes. Tony Randall claimed that Lucy bossed everybody around and didn't spare anybody's feelings. In 1979, Richard Burton called Lucy a monster of staggering charmlessness and monumental lack of humor, and said that if he had been drinking, he might have killed her. Number 6. Gene Kelly. When dancer Sid Charisse came home from the MGM lot covered in bruises, her husband assumed she must have worked with Gene Kelly that day. But Kelly may have done something far worse than being too rough with his co-stars. In 1970, he reportedly donated to the Provisional Irish Republican Army. He met covertly with IRA leader Cathal Goulding during an underground fundraising mission in the USA and gave him a check for £20,000. Kelly reportedly told Goulding, "This money is for guns. I certainly don't want it going to any do-gooders." Gene Kelly's widow, Patricia Ward Kelly, disputes the allegations, which surfaced after his death. She claimed her late husband was proud of his Irish heritage, but he didn't have much money and wasn't a violent man. Number 5. Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby's oldest son, Gary, authored the 1983 tell-all biography, Going My Own Way, and claimed the crooner handled most disciplinary issues with a stern lecture and a studded leather belt. Gary Crosby was also punished when his brothers acted up, and the discipline didn't stop at spankings. Housekeepers allegedly gave the children the drowning treatment in the bathtub if they heard them talking in bed or if they woke up too early. 2 of Crosby's children suffered from depression and eventually committed suicide. Despite doing 7 road movies together, Bing Crosby and co-star Bob Hope weren't friends, Bob Hope once told a friend he simply didn't like Bing, and at times detested him. Number 4. John Wayne. John Wayne was known for his ultra-conservative views, but many people don't know that he referred to himself as both a socialist and a liberal early in his career. John Wayne supported Barry Goldwater for president in 1964, after the Arizona senator voted against the Civil Rights Act, and he made his most controversial remarks in the May 1971 issue of Playboy. Wayne said he believed in white supremacy and didn't support African Americans holding office until they could be educated to a point of responsibility. Some film school students still walk out of classes when John Wayne's movies are screened, and Democratic leaders want to remove his name from the Orange County Airport. Number 3. Bette Davis. To quote songwriter Kim Carnes, Bette Davis was ferocious, and she knows just what it takes to make a pro blush. Producer William Fry told Vanity Fair about once having dinner with Davis and director Herschel Doherty. Doherty made the mistake of wagging his finger in her face, and she responded with a verbal tirade that cleared out half the restaurant. Davis then returned to her dinner and acted as if nothing had happened. Film set lighting gets pretty intense, and Bette Davis often rinsed her legendary eyes between scenes. During the filming of Mr. Skeffington, someone entered her dressing room and poisoned her eyewash. The culprit was never found, and director Vincent Sherman reportedly told detectives, if you were to line up the cast and crew and ask them, okay, which one of you wanted to kill Bette Davis? 100 people would raise their hands. Number 2. Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney was married 8 times and boasted about having countless extramarital affairs in his tell-all autobiography, Life is Too Short. MGM studio head Louis B. Mayer reprimanded Rooney in 1938 for having a torrid affair with Norma Shearer because it caused problems during the production of Marie Antoinette. Rooney also outed his close friend Judy Garland for having a brief affair with a woman and described his first wife, Ava Gardner's private parts in explicit detail. Once again, one of the alleged Hollywood jerks exhibits behavior that negatively impacts others. Bennett characterizes the actor as abrasive, nasty, curt, and rude, and claims that Rooney's lengthy list of sexual conquests included bedding a 14-year-old Elizabeth Taylor on the set of National Velvet when he was 24. Bennett also claims Rooney almost wore out the casting couch auditioning young actresses for roles that didn't exist. If it's any consolation, it's widely believed that many of Rooney's claims were either exaggerated or completely false. Number 1. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford would have pushed her way to the front of the line and raised her hand as high as Lady Liberty. Her backstage battle with Bette Davis during the production of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane was dramatized in the 2017 miniseries Feud. Davis did everything she could to get Crawford fired from the picture, but she was unsuccessful. When Davis was nominated for an Academy Award and Crawford wasn't, all hell predictably broke loose. Joan got herself booked to present the Best Director award and sabotaged her own movie by actively campaigning against her arch-nemesis. The Oscar went to Anne Bancroft for The Miracle Worker in 1963, and Joan Crawford accepted the trophy on her behalf. The 1978 Tell-All Mommy Dearest was Christina Crawford's response to a lifetime of abuse. 2 of Crawford's other children claimed they weren't abused, and several of her personal friends came to her defense. But Joan Crawford's alcoholism, jealousy, and obsessive cleaning habits were well known throughout Hollywood. Christina Crawford spent most of her childhood in boarding schools and claims her mother adopted children merely as a publicity stunt. Crawford wasn't married and illegally adopted her children through back channels. One birth mother even arrived to reclaim her child days after Crawford brought it home.